Hey guys. Alright, so I'm actually just practicing some colors. I'm having a commission piece coming up and I just kind of want to see what these are the colors they wanted, and I want to see how they work before I commit to it. I recently had I don't know if anybody that I'm sure people that watch my channel know who Garrick Brown is, and he mentioned me on his channel, which I was like so shocked by. I was really happy. Haven't had that happen, and I really appreciated it, and I just wanted to thank him for mentioning me, and I'm so happy that I inspired him. I hope I inspire more people to get into doing art, because pouring art, because it is a lot of fun. It's pretty addicting. I've gotten extremely addicted to it. My mom was the one who actually introduced me to it, and she does really gorgeous blooms and such. Her channel is Love Creating, I believe. And if you guys can go check it out, that would be awesome. She's really good at doing oil paintings and stuff, and she got into acrylic paint pouring. Actually, she started with the blooms, which is one of the hardest techniques, I think. I never really perfected those very well, and when I started, I saw paint pouring, like pouring straight pours or wandering pours, as a little bit easier. I think it is easier to start maybe that way, or maybe start with like flip cups or something, but she started with the blooms and she got really good at them. So yeah, please check out my mom's channel, Loves Creating. And also thanks so much to Garrick Brown for mentioning my channel on his channel, and I'm so happy that I loved the painting that he did too. It was really cool, and I'm glad he got out of his comfort zone with colors, because that's what I always try to do. I try not to, at first I always stuck to the same colors that I liked, and I just kind of got bored with doing the same colors all the time, so I decided to try doing colors that I wouldn't normally use, and mixing colors together that you wouldn't normally see together, but if you do it in the right way, you can make them work. It takes a little bit of practice. It's all about how you layer your cup, which it took me a lot of tries before I actually got the hang of layering my cup right. But what I always do try to do when I layer my cup is I just try to think about what colors look good next to each other or mesh well together. So I'll never put a color next to another color that it wouldn't go well with. Like, say, I don't know, I would think like green and red. Putting green and red right next to each other, like, you can use green and red in one painting, but putting them next to each other won't work out well. It'll create kind of a muddy look. So you have to kind of layer something in between, or a couple colors in between. I do try to use colors that do complement each other in some way. Sometimes I might get a little carried away, but usually I'll try. And I like to keep colors, use, like, this is like a dark Turquoise. It's supposed to be like a Pthalo turquoise. I wanted to kind of recreate Golden's Pthalo turquoise. I don't know if I have it over here. Yeah, right here. So this is Golden's Pthalo turquoise. So what I did, let's see if you can see this color. It's kind of similar. What I did was I saw this on Lil K Artistry. She's the one who actually mentioned it, that you mix Pthalo blue and Pthalo green. I think that's how you say it, Pthalo, or maybe Phthalo. Why am I saying Pthalo? Phthalo blue and Phthalo green, and it'll make Phthalo turquoise. That's why, because it has a P before it, but I know it's called Pthalo. Anyways, so yeah, that'll make a nice Phthalo turquoise. That's what I did with this. A lot of this is also a custom mixed color because I kind of wanted a mint green. So I mixed this Arteza Pearl Pastel green, and then I also, to make it a little more green looking, because you can see this is like really light, not so greenish, and I wanted kind of a mint green. It was the color that was requested for this painting. I mixed in some Golden's green gold, just like a drop or two. This is the fluid golden, and it's very pigmented, so you don't need very much of this to get your color. And I literally put, I think, like 2 drops in there, and that was it, just to kind of give it a little bit of a greenish, more of a greenish tint. The rest of my colors, I got Golden's Prussian blue. I just couldn't think of it for a second. This is Golden's Teal mixed with Amsterdam Turquoise green. This is Arteza Pearl Marmalade. Pearl Marmalade, and then I mixed in a little bit of Golden's Burnt Sienna just to kind of pigment it up a little more. So, because like these metallic colors don't come in so solid a lot of the times, they'll be more metallic-y throughout the painting, and I wanted it to have like more of a solid color in the painting. This is Amsterdam Naples Yellow Red. I know I've been using these colors for the last few paintings, but I did one and then had someone ask me if they could have these colors with mint green, a mint green color in it. So I wanted to try it first before doing the actual painting. And then this is my pearl mixture. This is about 1 part Vallejo Pearl Medium, 1 part Soft Body. What is it? Why am I forgetting every single name right now? Artist Loft Soft Body acrylic paint, white. And then 2 parts Floetral is my medium. I do also add Golden's Heavy Gel Gloss. I put a couple scoops of Golden's Heavy Gel Gloss in here, and then I layer it, or I put some Floetral just to where it reaches the top of the scoops of Golden's Heavy Gel Gloss. Mix that up really good, because you can't just pour the Floetral up to here and mix it. It'll be really hard to mix, so I do it a little bit at a time. That tip I actually got from Mina Villegas. And it works way easier than if you try to mix it all at once, or if you try to mix the heavy gel gloss directly into your paint. It's not easy at all, and it'll turn like very chunky, and you'll have little clumps of the heavy gel gloss in your paint that you won't be able to get rid of no matter how much you mix, because it's such a large amount of paint. You need to mix it with a little bit of Floetral really well till it's nice and smooth, and then you can add more Floetral. I add a little bit at a time and mix it really good. I mean, it takes a while and a little bit to mix this up, but it's worth it because you can thicken your paints up because it's this nice thick consistency. So I just add a couple scoops of this to whichever paint I want to thicken up. Sometimes I'll put it in all of it just to thicken them all up a little bit, and to give them all kind of similar consistencies, because I want them to have the same body to them as you pour them out. But this works really well. I recommend trying it if you struggle with consistency with your paint. Once I started using this, it seemed like all my pours were like so much better. Like my paint consistencies matched. I didn't have one paint moving faster than the other. It was really hard for me to get consistency of paint down in the beginning, and once I started using that, it got better and better from there. So I recommend trying that if you struggle with that at all, because if you're tilting your painting and it's, you know, not the composition that was poured out is just the like lines are flowing differently, you have, you know, inconsistent paint consistencies, or you don't have the same paint consistencies if that's happening. If your colors are moving, your lines are just getting all wonky, basically. All right, so let me get these out of the way real quick, and I'll show you how I fill my cup. This spinner, this is just one of those metal spinners I got off of Amazon. It was like, I think it was like $4.30 something, almost 40. Such a nice spinner, and it came with palette knives as well. I don't know if I have them around, but it's because it's a cake spinner. It came with this and another one, but I don't think I have it. But it's like the triangular one, large one, and I believe it came with this as well. So it was really nice to get all these. I use these a lot. You can use them to spread your paint. This I use to clean up after I do a pour. You can also use it if you want to try Winter Strom Art's technique of the hide and reveal. So that's really nice. And then what I did is I put some tinfoil on this, and that's how I was using it for a long time. But then I wanted to do bigger paintings on this, and I just got the idea. My mom was putting sticks on hers, but I wanted it to kind of be like sturdier, so I put, these are just paint sticks that you get from the hardware store with your paint, and I taped them on, and then after doing so many paintings on it, they've kind of, you know, just attached themselves. That's paint that is attaching them on there. I don't know if you can see it. But if you want a really good idea on how to make larger spinners, and I'm actually gonna try it, watch Lil K's artistry channel. She has made some big spinners. She uses one of these, I believe, with a board, round board, and I'm gonna try it because it looks much easier than dealing with this. And, you know, It can hold larger paintings, I believe, than this. This can hold a 20 by 20, I believe. Let's see, here's a 20 by 20. Yeah, it could hold a 20 by 20, but, you know, if it was the way she makes them, it'd be a little easier to do. So, alright, time to fill my cup. So when I do this, what I focus on is the center. I want to be really bold, especially if I'm doing a straight pour or even a wandering straight pour. I just want that center color to pop the most, and whatever you put on the bottom of your cup is what's going to come out last and going to be the center. If you're doing a straight pour, it's going to be the last color to come out. It's going to be what is the focal point of your painting. So you can either go light or dark. Sometimes I like to add just a drizzle of gold, or I don't think I'm going to do that though. Let's see. I think in this one I'm going to start with the Pthalo Turquoise. And I'm just, because it's small, I'm doing a smaller canvas just to kind of practice. I'm going over this one. This was I think it was a dirty cup pour, but I know that I hate going over paintings sometimes, but if I don't absolutely like love it, then I usually think it's worth it to reuse the canvas. I already have the back taped and tacks added to kind of lift it up while it's drying, and that way you can clean the bottom edges as well, which you really want to do after you're finished with any pour that you do. But alright, so I'm gonna start with Phthalo Turquoise, but I'm just gonna do a little bit so it's not too much. Maybe a little more. Okay. See, so it's not very much, just covers the bottom. And after that, so if I use a dark color as the center, you want to then go to a light color usually. I mean, you could use another dark color, but then they'll just kind of blend. You could go from dark to lighter as well, so I don't really have the colors for that, so I'm not going to do that, but I think what I'm going to do is go, this is kind of crazy, but I think I'm going to go with this color next and see what happens. Oh, I hope it doesn't make a mud. No, actually, I'll go with this one next. And then I'll go with my Naples. Yellow, red. Okay, now I am going to do my Prussian blue, because it actually looks really good next to this. I think it does. And go with the teal. Add some of the cloud mix. I should have added it earlier, actually. Then I'm gonna add, oh yeah, maybe a little tiny bit of this, just to separate. So if you don't want like to put a dark color next to the white and lighten that color up, just separate it with a little bit of gold or copper if you have one of those colors in your color palette. That's a really good way to separate it so it doesn't lighten your dark color up too much. And then I'm gonna do my mint green. I feel like I didn't add this soon enough, but we'll see what happens. Put a good bit in just so it kind of shows up. Do a little more. Yeah. Just a little. And this. And then I'm gonna end with this. It's really full cup. We'll see how this goes. I might pour it again because so first I always like to pour just kind of a line to follow. If I'm doing a wandering pour, I'll just pour color so that I can kind of follow it when I'm doing the regular pour. Even if I'm doing a straight pour, I'll pour it in the center, something to pour into. I think I'm just gonna do a straight pour on this because I just want to see what these colors look like together. You mainly want this because you don't want your colors to like roll over, the outer edge to roll over itself as you're pouring it, because you can have a lot of really cool things come out on the edge of your straight pour. And when I used to just pour directly on the canvas, I noticed I'd lose a large chunk of the pour that I was doing. And I want it to kind of all be there so I can pick what area I want to preserve. I like to sit down while I'm doing this because it helps me be at eye level more with what I'm doing. So here goes, and I'll kind of turn the canvas a little bit while I'm pouring, and my hand as well. So you can start kind of up high, but as you get further down into the cup, you can lower. So you get more of those fingerlings. I'm gonna lose all my mint green because I didn't put enough of that down. Whew, okay. A lot of times the bubbles popping can create those cells, especially if you're using a pearl mix. So it's good to do it before you tilt as much as you can. Get those cells out. Now's the hard part. So if you want to keep it in this general composition, my suggestion is to kind of tilt in a circular motion very slowly. Like, don't need to move it fast, you want to move it kind of slow, just so that it kind of fills out the rest of the canvas. So I kind of want to bring it down more. Totally gonna lose that mint green. It's supposed to be your main color. And you can spin them. What's happening up there? Strange. I'm just gonna tilt. It's harder to spin on these square canvases. So I'm doing this faster than I normally would. Especially if you're on a bigger canvas, you kind of want to definitely tilt very slow. Because bigger canvases, it's so easy to... And also when you're tilting, you want to watch all your sides. So something I notice is very easy to do when you're tilting a corner off. You could have something really cool over here, and if you don't pay attention to that area, it could all get tilted off. So I like try to look at every single side as I'm tilting and preserve it if I can. You can always tilt back, move your paint down this way and tilt to make it you know, preserve that area, or move it in a circular motion and then come back to that corner so that that area up there would be saved. So now I'm just cleaning my bottom edges and trying to touch up the corners. This one needs a little touching up. I like how this one came out. And those cells are all from the Vallejo Pearl medium. Once I started using that, I used to use satin enamel, and I'd still like to, but it doesn't have the same appearance, I feel like. Or it's just not as easy, maybe, to mix it up to get the same effects as Vallejo Pearl medium gives you. I don't know. Or maybe it's just over time I've gotten better at mixing it. I don't know. I used to not get these really cool cells in my straight pores. The first time it happened, it was totally unexpected. And I think that was with a straight, one of the first like straight pores I did. That's so pretty, that center there. I just think that phthalo green goes really nicely with the burnt sienna and pearl marmalade. And you can kind of see that's like minty. It's probably from the phthalo green and white that created that, but if I do it again, I would put the mint green sooner. Alright, well, thank you guys for joining me. Again, I wanted to thank Garrick Brown for mentioning me, and everyone for subscribing that is subscribed to my channel. Yeah, please like and comment. I always try to reply to my comments as much as I can. If I don't, it's just because I didn't notice it or something, because I will always usually comment. It's kind of a really cool effect. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.